This is the Secure Cyber Connect podcast with Jay Adamson and Warren Atkinson, where we're joined by information and cybersecurity, technology and talent acquisition professionals who share their journeys, unique perspectives, and offer advice and guidance. Our topics on this episode will be closing the tech and cybersecurity skills gap, enhancing DE&I through visa sponsorship, where we'll be joined by Ruqayyat Alibhai. Ruqayyat is the founder and CEO of RKY Careers, a UK-based tech-driven company that is enthusiastic about ensuring people reach their fullest potential. With thousands of success stories, 60,000 plus followers, and over 10 career-changing services and training bootcamps, Ruqayyat has supported international students and professionals settling into the UK to find rewarding jobs, earn promotions, gain career clarity, acquire in-demand skills and obtain employment that offered UK visa sponsorship within the UK and even from their home countries. As a renowned author in the UK job market and the edtech space, she specialises in personal branding, career transition, career development, career transition training, tech career pivot and visa sponsorship strategies. Ruqayyat has hosted and spoken at several tech summits, career webinars and universities. Her impactful work has been met with high levels of recognition in the media across the globe, and her awards include being named as a top 25 changing face of education in 2022, EdTech CEO of the Year in 2023, and being accepted into the Forbes Official Coaches Council in 2024, where she has contributed to over 6 different expert panel articles that have made it into Forbes Top 100. RKY Careers has been recognised and endorsed by reputable organisations such as CPD UK and ACTD USA and listed as a registered training provider on the UK government website. They have been acknowledged for their outstanding services and excellence, and notably were awarded the Best Technology-Driven Professional Solutions Firm in 2023 by the UK Business Awards and named the Career Support Organisation of the Year this year by the Innovations and Excellence Awards. Ruqayyat has founded several of the successful companies, including ApplyBuddy Limited and RKY Digital Solutions. ApplyBuddy is an innovative job-as-a-service platform that takes the stress of job applications away from candidates. She is also the founder at Immigrant Founders Network UK, a community established to provide essential support, resources and connections to immigrant founders, enabling them to overcome unique challenges and succeed in the UK's vibrant business landscape. Quite the introduction, and welcome to Secure Cyber Connect podcast. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you on the episode.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
So we always start with a very high-level overview on just a very brief overview on the key themes that we'll be exploring our discussion on this episode.
So today we're going to be talking about, how to leverage visa sponsorship as a way to enhance, diversity, equity, and inclusion in the UK as well as the global market as well. So basically visa sponsorship, DEI.
And before we get into that, we always ask our guests if you'd be kind enough to maybe share something that you're proud or excited about that isn't featured on your LinkedIn profile or many of the accolades that I've already outlined about.
Okay, right. So one of the things I would say is not mentioned there would be an event that I hold annually, a physical event that we currently, host and sponsor internally at RKY Careers. It's called Limitless Without Borders, right? It's also tailored towards the underrepresented, who I normally support in every of my initiatives. So this brings us all together in a physical space, and we have lots of insightful and very educative conversations. So we bring different speakers who address different pain points of my audience as well. Right. So we bring people from the immigration side of things to come educate us about the different settlement pathways. We bring people to talk about the global talent as a route as well to a settlement. And we bring different recruiters and to give us, recruiters and HR professionals to give us the HR perspective of things. Because what we find is that information is really important, right, in how we make decisions that actually form our journey and influence our journey really. So this live session, the last one was held at the University of East London at Stratford, and it was really exciting. So that's one of the things I would say probably is not, in addition to the Immigrant Founders Network, which I also recently launched, because I've seen that a lot of people also are too focused on trying to get jobs, which is good, but we could also do beyond just trying to get jobs. We could actually create the solution as well to this problem by actually founding our own business, starting our own tech business, building our own tech program as well. And yes, this has seen massive support as well. And I can see that there are lots of people as well that would benefit from this network.
100%.
Man, that's brilliant. We recommend you for your role going after. It's something that's certainly needed in the space. And could you perhaps share with us a significant challenge that you faced that's helped shape your view on both tech and cybersecurity, for instance?
Right. Thank you for that. So for general tech, right, I would say that moving to the UK myself, I wasn't born in the UK. So I moved into the UK at some point, some years back. And I would say even at that time, I was at, I would say, a very good point in my career where I felt, before I moved, right, I would usually check what's my career, what's my background, right, and my current expertise to be able to fetch me in terms of, and I'll seem very good. I'll see like 90K job, £100,000 job. And I was like, okay, this is really good. This is what my expertise should naturally command me. This is what it commands my counterparts who already are in the UK. But upon getting to the UK, I was actually met by shock. I mean, first of all, my CV and everything was well crafted. I was getting a lot of attention as well. But when I speak to them and they ask me where is my background, they love the background. But by the time I mentioned that this background is from back home in Nigeria, I get that freeze, and then most of the time I don't get called back. Even on my interviews, right, I do make it to the final stages. But they just always give a very funny reason. They could say something cultural related. I didn't even need visa sponsorship at this point of my own life, right? But still, I still had barriers. Now imagine the barriers that people who need visa sponsorship now face. But yeah, so this is one of the reasons why I'm really passionate about supporting people, because I found that a lot of people don't know how to tailor their experiences the way they want to hear it here. Demonstrate their experiences, tailor their CVs and all that as well. And some of them also have gaps in terms of skill sets that they need to add to what they already have to stand out in the job market. So yeah, this is one of the things that influenced my passion, right, about diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That's brilliant. And sorry that you had to go through those challenges. You all travel through and you've overcome those challenges and barriers that are put in place. And I think sharing the stories like we're going to go over today, it's going to be something that resonates with the audience, but also motivates and inspires them to keep pushing through.
Yeah, I'd certainly echo what Warren was saying there as well. And I think that segues into very much one of the key topics on this episode, which is the misconceptions about visa sponsorship. And topic that myself and Warren have been extremely passionate about. We've already spoken with one of our previous guests, Nick Kasonde from Joy Momentum, about this. And it was very much about like the sort of high number of misconceptions about sponsorships and visas for HR departments with organizations and employers. And these include things such as only large companies can sponsor skilled workers, and that the visa process is expensive and complicated and inflexible. Ricky, you understand that migrating to a new country comes with challenges and opportunities, and we're all aware of the saying, you can't truly or fully understand another person's experience until you've walked a mile in their shoes. Could you go into a little more detail about how many of these misconceptions, one, obviously exist about visa sponsorship programs, and more importantly, how can addressing these misconceptions improve organizations' approaches to diversity and equity and inclusion?
Thanks for that question. So the first one, which is usually the costs, a lot of companies feel that it's really expensive to sponsor. First of all, they have to probably increase salaries to certain requirements, limits, right? They also have to get some probably legal stuff that they might not have a compliance. But what I find is that it's actually misconception. In previous years, when I used to be very much involved in looking at all these jobs and all that, I would see a job offering £100,000 as salary, but they are not open to offering this as sponsorship. How expensive can it really get? If you are ready to pay somebody £100,000 for their skill set, but can't bear the cost of obtaining a license or sponsoring them, right? So most of all these roles that we're already talking about, they even already are offering up to the minimum requirements, right? These people that are actually looking for this sponsorship, they don't even mind the pay cost. It's going, I don't know to get, they don't mind being offered a 90K for that 100,000 job, for the 10K to cover the cost of the visa or whatever it's going to cost, right? So I think it's all about a mindset shift. Companies need to be more open to looking at it objectively as part of their natural, inclusive DEI initiatives. What I find is that a lot of companies tend to say they are inclusive, But I don't think immigrants have a place in their in DEI initiatives. I don't think they are actually looking to, most of the initiatives I read about or listen to don't include immigrants. And we're not, when we say immigrants, we're not even talking about people that are back home. I'm talking about people that are already here, that the UK welcomed here legally some years back, and now are stuck in the system because employers are not willing to actually offer them the work permits they need to continue to stay in the UK, or to stay in the UK for the number of years they might want to stay, for 30 points they want to go back. So that is actually, so yeah, the costs would be, looking at it as the cost benefits ratio thing. These are highly skilled professionals. If any professional can afford to come to the UK to study at the enormous amounts it goes for, then definitely they are not low skilled professionals. Most of these are master's level candidates who have had their BSc done some years back. Most of them are from English speaking countries. Most of them are at par or even more exposed and more experienced than their counterpart in this space when it comes to like technical skill sets, strategy, and all that. So they only just need to be given a chance. And and one thing I always say as well, from running a business perspective, there are some things that as business owners or as entrepreneurs or companies, we can't look at as expenses, but rather as investments that would also spawn returns. Right. Companies need to look at it from the angle of cost benefits. So you are incurring these costs to increase your bottom line. So look at it from for instance, employing a digital marketing professional who's going to run bets and holistic marketing campaigns for you that would increase your revenue, that would increase your profitability. Right. And you should be willing to pay whatever cost that comes with acquiring this person. And in the end, the ROI is always even way more. The return that it gets on this cost is always going to be worth it. So I feel that addresses the cost. Look at it from there, because every employer or every employee that a company should get, they should actually indirectly or directly hit the bottom. Their impact should hit the bottom line. And if this is the case, and you are confident that you are actually hiring for the right position in the first place, they shouldn't be worried about also incurring the cost towards this talents, right? So another thing is, there's also another misconception about only technical roles needing business sponsorship. A lot of companies that even as that are actually rates A they call them, that have these licenses, they only want to offer it to software developers. They only want to offer it to some certain kind of talents, right? However, that should not be the case. Like I said, every employee that you are getting on board should have a direct impact on the bottom line, or indirect on the bottom line. And so they are also descending of this license, of this sponsorship. To be honest, it's not even that expensive, right? To actually sponsor, once you have for those that already have the license, most of the big companies that we're talking about, they even already have a compliance department. They already have a legal department. So I think it's more about just having a change in the mindsets, right?
100%. It's 100%. And I think you've raised a brilliant point there when you're talking about senior roles, when the companies are signing off on budgets or six-figure salaries and then questioning the minimal cost of trying to acquire a sponsorship or visa. It's quite laughable, really. But I think it's an outdated and antiquated methodology and just a mindset that HR departments, and to some degree that filters down into management, that's just it needs to change.
I think where we see businesses perhaps succeed is when they're putting UX or UC at the forefront. So the user or their customer sort of experience. And obviously that extends to the employees as well.
Perfectly said, yeah.
And then talking about where do you feel that some of the
true challenges companies face when offering visa sponsorships? What strategies have you seen organizations adopt in successfully overcoming these misconceptions and for want of a better word, barriers that they're putting up?
Right. So when it comes to strategies, one would be partnering with experts in the field. If they don't already have this, like I said, most of the big companies already have departments. They will sponsor a certain type of people only. So why can't they sponsor the rest? Right. So first of all, for those that don't, for probably the smaller companies, then they should partner with probably immigration specialists or experts who would handle all the paperwork. Because one of the reasons why companies also shy away is the paperwork, monitoring the number of hours, making sure that everything is done as it should. They can also do this by actually getting the experts to handle all the paperwork. They don't, and these don't even cost a lot. And if it looks like it's going to cost a lot, then they should actually employ that person as well as part of their day-to-day. Right. So, so that's one of the areas that it can, and also, like I said, the cost benefits, looking at it from a strategic point of view, right, of adding a diverse, enough companies just have DEI initiatives, tick the box exercises, rather than being genuinely open to. So look at cybersecurity field, for instance, right? So for cybersecurity, immigrants face another layer on top of their visa sponsorship needs of hindrance, which is the security clearance, right? If you really want to welcome immigrants or say the diverse underrepresented community, then probably need to soften the criteria, because most immigrants, most of these people are already experts, but they might not qualify for these high barriers that have been set, right? That have been set in place that would block out all these cybersecurity professionals. So that's part of the strategies to explore.
But then that's something that we see challenge within cybersecurity space. The most recent times that having the need for security clearance certainly is valid. However, when it comes to people that have immigrated or gone through sort of academia, the quickest route for them to secure always perhaps during that GRC or governance route. That's where we've seen some success. And once they've then established a few years worth of experience working here in the UK, they can then very quickly pivot into security operations, for instance, and achieve that security clearance once they've obviously got that longer-term residency here in the UK. I think the UK, as a sort of a group, or sort of innovate and get ahead of threat actors, we perhaps need to lower that requirement and look at other ways of attracting and retaining talent, especially those that perhaps not born here in the UK, but they are living here at the moment.
And in terms of sort of other metrics, what are the other metrics can organizations use to maybe assess the impact of their visa sponsorship programs on any sort of DE&I objectives?
Right. What ways they can assess you? Not only their number of people, right? I mean, enough companies, like in my team, in my previous role, I used to be the only Black person in my team. Right? So it's more of okay, there's one person ticking the box to show that we are diverse and all that. I think companies need to go beyond that to make sure that how many people also sit on the SNC, how many diverse or underrepresented communities sit on the SNC table, how many people are being promoted, out of all the promoted people, how many of them are actually people from the underrepresented community, because this is really important as well in decision making, because when decisions are made, everybody needs to be represented. Everybody needs to be represented. There should be somebody that is also advocating for the perspective and unique challenges of the diverse community. And again, I think even the diverse community, or how would I call it now, the underrepresented community, there are actually a wide range of categories that fall under that. And at the end of the day, I mean, balancing it, right? Balancing all those who fall under underrepresented or minority as well needs to be considered. It's not just, we already have one person under one of the categories and then we are good to go. Right. So that's one of the ways, promotion, making sure that they also get promoted. It's not just about having the Black person in the team. It's not just about having another country person or another diverse community member in the team. It's about having a holistic and genuine interest in the people. Right. Also, it shouldn't also be once in a while when there's Black History Month, you get Black to be represented, we have Black events. It should be holistic. Also, there should also be sessions where others also get to learn about. There should be is it training sessions, they call it, right? Where others get to learn about diverse perspectives as well, right? So that they understand where we are also coming from. So that they understand where we are also coming from. Also, another way they can also support diversity, equity, and inclusion is also by supporting external programs. For instance, RKY careers were tailored towards supporting immigrants, right? Companies that are actually passionate about DEI can support us as well to train all the skilled professionals to upskill their current staff and all that. Also other events. For instance, at the UK Black Business Show that attended just this weekend, almost all the companies are represented there, which is also a good sign, right? That companies put their money where their mouth is. It's not just about saying were ticking the box. You had these events at the office or something. They should put their money where their mouth is in every way.
Most definitely. And the tech sector is going to obviously play a crucial role in creating equitability across opportunities. So could you share with us how tech challenges, how the changes in the tech landscape are affecting the sponsorship process for both individuals and international talent first?
Right. So, yes, changes in the tech space in terms of innovation, artificial intelligence, and all that are actually making things very easy. We're having a lot of solutions being invented that could like, for instance, this security clearance issue. Let's go back to it. So, yeah, I understand that people are new in the UK, but there are also a lot of innovative products I've seen recently that also help you to bring in data from their home countries. I don't know if you get that, can also help with the history, because even the issues we face as immigrants or as represented communities from ethnic background, right? Ethnic minority background is not limited to only visa sponsorship. Even mortgages, getting mortgages, the rates that are being offered to people who are new in the UK are not friendly rates. And this is because of the history, right? And because we have enough solutions as well that are leveraging technology to put an end to this, or to bring history as well from your own countries. I think, a lot of companies already do like referencing and all that from internationally. The same way we can also leverage this for security clearance, for mortgages, for other things really as well, right? So artificial intelligence as well, leveraging artificial intelligence tools, and also talking about even companies themselves being able to afford, because enough companies now are shying away, because I think to sponsor a candidate, you have to like be able to pay them 38,700, which is a whole lot. But a company and that's why a lot of the attention is shifting to technology as one of the areas where people can now get it. Companies that are leveraging tech will actually be more profitable than their counterparts who are not leveraging tech. So this on its own is a way technology is actually helping to improve diversity, because companies, for instance, if you look at a company that is located somewhere in Leicester, somewhere in Hull, trying to serve only clients in Hull, or trying to serve only clients in Leicester, compared to the same company, even in the same location, that is leveraging a global market using technology. Of course, that company that is leveraging or serving a larger community or larger markets will be more profitable, would have more revenue. And in that sense, would also be able to afford to sponsor someone, right? I don't know if you get. So first of all, even being open to actually get these tech talents can also help their profitability as well. So that's another way that tech is helping visa sponsorship.
Yeah, makes sense. And from your experience and your perspective, how does leadership and organizational culture influence the effectiveness of visa sponsorship, enhance the initiatives for tech firms, do you think?
Right. So, I mean, everything goes from leadership and management, the stand of leadership towards visa sponsorship, towards recruitment, towards, all boiled down to the decision that is also made by the HR, so leadership has a very big role to play by not just having tick the box exercises, but being truly and genuinely interested in investing in their people, as well as all the represented people that they have, as well as also having these diverse communities, having them on the board, having them get to that level. We shouldn't just be capped at the level. We should be allowed to get to SNC, to SLT. We should be allowed to get to the decision-making table as well.
Well, most definitely. I think there's a lot of value in having the voice in the room, especially at that C-suite level. Yeah, for those that are about to run the technology and cybersecurity space, what piece of advice would you give them versus those that are looking to perhaps further enhance their career and step up into leadership positions?
Right. So, one of the things I would say is to join communities. For instance, the secure community help cybersecurity professionals to actually, be informed, connect them with like-minded and mentors. So joining very good communities and supportive communities is very, very important. Gaining practical experience in the field, right, through projects, as well as, of course, gaining the knowledge and then also gaining practical experience is also very important.
That's great. And what about those that are perhaps looking to step up into sort of more senior leadership positions? What advice would you give them in terms of development of their professional experience and skill set?
Right. So for those looking to get into leadership, I would say that you need to get more involved with visible. Right. So whatever role you find yourself in, you need to be the standout person. You need to be the standout person in your company, in your organization, and also be involved. Be that person that volunteers. Don't just be that person that sits back and says, "Oh, well, I'm a junior person. My club." That's how you grow in the lab. That's how you grow. Your voice needs to be heard. You need to be more visible. You need to be that person that they can point to as solution provider in a particular certain area or in a lot of areas as well. So volunteer for events. Be visible. Be the one that is practically everywhere as possible as it can be.
Rookie, and you've given us some incredible insight and some really, I guess, fantastic overview of your views on things from your own perspective and based on your own career and the many impressive accolades that you have yourself. Where does the sort of future hold for yourself?
So I would say for me, my initiatives are clear, supporting your immigrant communities in their careers, in their businesses. So the next goal is collaboration for me, and collaboration and partnering with the decision makers at the end of things, because it's not just about, there are a lot of people that are talking about DEI, but my role or what I'm doing, I'm actually taking an action by actually supporting them, helping them gain practical experience that will help them to position themselves for these roles. So now the next step for me is to now connect them to the opportunities that are about and also reach to those that have that change in mindsets. Right, which the decision makers, right, and also connect all the talents that we have, the opportunities that abound in the space.
For any of our listeners who want to stay connected with you beyond the podcast today, where else would they be able to reach out to you?
Right, so we're very social at RKY Careers, right? So you can connect with us across different social media channels. We are on Instagram as RKY Careers, on LinkedIn as RKY Careers. If you want to connect with me personally, my name is Rupert Alabi on LinkedIn as well. Right. So if you want to follow all our journey and all the ways we support immigrants community, just connect with me and then you'll be able to follow through with the journey as your force.
Thank you, Ruki. Doing some outstanding work. We'd like to say thank you for your time today and to the community and all of our listeners. I'm sure have found a great deal of value in today's episode. If anyone wants to continue the discussion and for more sustained engagement, then we certainly invite you to join the CyberConnect community, where we're as always offering a range of collaborative solutions to both tech and security professionals at no cost. This includes expansive community access, cross-sector mutual mentoring programs, weekly online networking sessions, and a range of exclusive interviews, panel discussions, and masterclasses, as well as podcast episodes such as today's with Rookie. To learn more and to gain access to the secure CyberConnect community of any of our initiatives, please visit secure-recruitment.com/cyber-connect/. Thank you.